All right, I am here at the home of Redoubt Productions, and this is his collection.
Yes, I like my thunderous applause we get.
Yes.
That is my dog Zoe. We've already talked about her history. She's a bloodhound who does not like human beings, apparently. Oh, don't worry, she got distracted for a moment. Don't worry, that'll happen. She does not like Zoe.
I'm not moving at the moment, so maybe she'll calm down.
Personally, I think we're just gonna have to kind of talk over her
Yeah,
and see what happens.
That's fine.
She's gonna get bored.
Okay.
So, essentially, you're inside now the history room. I did a video a couple years ago on this, actually. I even forget what I put it under. It was some boring title about collecting. Did you see it?
I feel like I did.
Yeah, I did it into 2 parts, and you're probably the only one that watched part 2, because there's only one view on part 2 right now. So this is kind of, I guess, an updated version. I plan to do my own. So, generally, I actually want to give a bit of a history on the house we're in.
Okay.
So the house was built somewhere between 1908 and 1911. So this is pretty much right around time of World War I. The house originally was built with this being the parlor room. So you're in the original parlor room. It was a very small house. I forget who owned the original owners of it. The hallway here was here. The staircase is not the original staircase, however. The original staircase, and I'll show you later on today, it was actually in the dining room.
Oh, okay.
Went up into the bedroom. So everything upstairs is still in the original layout. Not the original item square, but it's in the original layout. This over here was ledged out to a wraparound porch. So where the living room is now located, that was all one long wraparound porch.
Wow. Okay.
That wasn't enclosed until around the 60s or the 70s, I believe.
Okay.
So we're actually in the original parlor room.
Oh, very cool.
That is why we have a chimney in here. So that is actually original. There was original fireplace, but it's all cased in now. But we have part of the original chimney still here.
Oh, very cool.
So there was originally 2 chimneys to the house. So we're in the original parlor room. Yeah, it's small for a parlor room, but I don't think these were wealthy people. So, anyways, that's why the rooms the way they are. And when we go upstairs to the second part, our bedroom, you'll also see it's actually in the same design as this somewhat.
Oh, cool.
So they kept the design of this octagonal edge. That's just how it worked. So is there anything you want to start with? So you don't have to retake. We're now using a camera now. That's why we took a break there. So essentially, what do you want to start?
Why don't you talk a little bit about what got you into collecting?
Okay, so for me in history, I don't know what it started out with. I remember being little. I remember not really knowing much fame. I guess little people do when we're young. Then I distinctly remember this. I was 4 years old. And my family took me to the Johnstown Flood Museum. And that's what started the history for me. And from there, I went from the Johnstown Flood to the Battle of Gettysburg to Fort Necessity in the French and Indian War. And then it just kind of went all over the place.
Yeah.
So generally what I collect primarily stuff dealing with Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh history. Okay. But there is stuff that has nothing to do with Pittsburgh, but it's here anyway. So yeah, you have that. So it's a little bit of everything. My big credit is my grandfather. He was, not only was he in the Navy for 4 years during the Vietnam War, he was then also he served about 3 decades as a coal miner in the region. So that's where the big coal mining, but probably the local history is from him mostly. My dad was in the National Guard and the Navy. He spent 4 years in the Navy. Then he spent the next 2 decades in the National Guard. So that also helped get into the military aspect.
Yeah,
so it's a mixture of my dad and my grandfather. That's what got me into collecting, essentially. And really, as far as collecting items, since we're over here, we'll bring you right over here, they started with these. So I have it set up as a jar here. Oh, by the way, this cup cost me $20 at the Apple Festival near Gettysburg.
Oh, okay.
See, we didn't know that the root beer was endless refills. We thought it was one refill, and we were leaving, so we got in line, and we didn't realize it was $20, and we thought it was overpriced, and we realized, no, you were meant to go back and refill the cup.
Yeah.
So anyways, the cup, I have displayed the various items that you would see from in the mine and in the region. This represents the iron ore blast furnaces of the 1800s, as well as the coal and coke industry of the 1900s. So we got anthracite coal. You're going to see this actually. We use anthracite coal as our door stoppers in this house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So all the anthracite coal came from these massive blocks my grandfather got when they were working on the credit union building up in Evansburg. That was for the miners. It was originally actually made of anthracite. They had a whole wall made of anthracite. Oh. And the leftover they gave to him. He always regretted not getting more because anthracite is like prime coal. You probably know like anthracite.
Yeah.
It burns hotter.
Yeah, it's harder.
Better than what regular bituminous. And we live in the bituminous region.
Right.
Other items we have, this is slag from a iron furnace.
Okay.
I do have some bits and pieces of iron here, some iron ore itself.
Do you know which furnaces those came
Yes,
from?
this one comes from the Mount Vernon furnace down around in the Bullskin Township region.
Okay.
So yeah, all the iron ore comes from the Bullskin Township furnace. The slag comes from the Laurel Hill furnace up near New Florence.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty on point with those. This here's Fool's Gold.
Yes.
I just have this in here because you'll find this all over the place.
Right.
And I like making a little joke. I'm trying to see. Okay, this is regular just slag. I believe this is coke slag in particular. And I will actually show you the difference if I find the right. Here we go. So, this is coal. This is coke. Okay, so this sample site I shouldn't really use for example, but in the region we had coke ovens and we had coal mines.
Right.
Coke was used as a byproduct it was a byproduct from coal that was used to make steel. That's why it's so important. And it's actually much lighter, so you can actually fill it yourself. And then I'll show you the coal.
Oh yeah, it's a
it's
big difference between the two.
Yeah. So I don't know where the coke came from. I'm sure one of the ovens in the area. Because when I was little, what my grandfather partially did to entertain me and also to my parents so they would shut me up, was take me on road trips to go to all the blast furnaces and the coal mines and the coke ovens in the region. So I've explored a lot of the ovens. I haven't been to a coke oven site in about 3 years though. I've been meaning to, but you can only do that like in the fall and winter, because if you try to do that in the summer,
Oh, you're going through all the pricker bushes and
rattlesnakes. Not dealing with it. Yeah,
no, that's
until the winter to do that.
not worth it at all.
So, my display actually has a rotation. So this is why sometime in the winter, when you're off, you're coming back, because this will be all different.
Oh,
at least on
sweet.
this side.
Yeah.
At least this side. So in the summer, I generally do the coal mining history and the industrial history. Then in the winter, you're going to see sports in here. It'll be all sports history.
Oh,
There's some sports stuff in here, but mostly of it right now is just dealing with industrial history. Pool table, meant to be bought to be used to play pool and ice hockey. Never really got used for that purpose, and it became my display table. This item here is a part of a stash I have from... actually the box is back here, but I'm not barn pulling out because there's so much stuff back there. This miner, his name is Louis Speroni. He was from Somerville, PA. He worked in the Monoc mine and had all the maps of the Monoc mine and the Atlantic mine in the region.
Oh, wow.
So I think the maps are the Monoc mine, but he's also worked for the Atlantic mine. So I don't know I believe it's the Monoc mine. So I have the map, I have the different pieces, so I have the whole map. This is just part of it. It's just the easy one to put on display.
Right.
And all the time books you see, all these books here are from him as well.
Wow, that's really cool.
I did not buy them off him personally. I bought them at a flea market. Most of my stuff I buy from flea markets. I'm not into the auction stuff. I don't have the money. Yeah. But I trace back because the box and El Speroni and all the books you can see. If I get the right one, I guess on this one, but they all say El Speroni on there. Some of them have his name on them. So you can see on top this one, El Speroni.
Yeah.
I looked up El Speroni Monoc Mine. That's what came up, and I deduced that it had to be Louis Speroni.
Okay.
This item here is very interesting, very peculiar. This here is a whiskey bottle from the Laurel Hill furnace.
Okay.
Found it laying in the pit. I have a feeling that somebody had dug it up and meant to come back to get it later, and they didn't know that 10-year-old me was going to come and snoop it up. So
hey, you snooze, you lose. So.
Yeah, they should have picked it up when they had the chance.
Yeah.
I got some Stallone's liniment. My mom drained all the stuff out of it when I was little. It used to be filled, but I was 8 years old playing with stuff. She didn't want. So on one hand, I wish they never got drained because they had more value. But on the other hand, I'm kind of appreciating.
Yeah, it's always fun when you find old medical bottles and they still have like mysterious liquids and powders.
Yeah, so it had the liquid in it.
What was it even? It's probably all kinds of toxic.
It's like what was it like the hospital wards down at the fort? We don't know what's in those boxes back there.
Oh, it's probably like drugs.
Yeah, not good stuff.
No.
This item came from Grantsville, Maryland. That's where I bought it at the flea market. It's one of the original miner lamps. This one was a carbide lamp. This was around the time when it was starting to do away with the torches. It's still oil burn, but you can control the flow of the burn on this one. So this, I want to get one of the original oil lamps ones, but they cost money.
Yeah.
I want one because my dad because my dad's father, I should point this out, my grandfather I talk about is not my dad's father. My grandfather is on my mom's side of the family, my dad's on the other side of the family. So, so my dad's father, who would be my other grandfather, who I never got to meet, that's a whole line of families in the military and mines that I don't know much about yet.
Okay.
So most of what I know comes from my mom's father, and there's a lot to the other side. And also, I bought with the lamp. That's a nail they would have used in the early 1900s to hold those rails in place in the mines.
Right.
The decals come from most of the most of the 70s to the 80s mining items you see in here. They all come from the New Florence Robinson mines. That's where my grandfather worked for most of his time up there. So these fluorescent items, they came off of the locomotives. They would
okay.
These are just regular ones. I have a piece of the locomotive, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's the story of our lives.
Pretty much, yeah.
I bought this on a vacation.
Oh, wow.
I bought that on my vacation out to Cootstown. You saw the spider run across.
Yeah, that's fine.
Essentially, they were selling all these for $7 a piece. They were like photos they had no idea the story of. This looked like a logging camp. That's why I picked it up.
Yeah, that's really nice.
The lady at the store thought I was crazy for picking it up. Like, why don't you want the one that's nice with the face? And I'm like, well, nobody's going to locate this one. So
yeah.
I'm like, don't you want me to buy it? The Yak brick comes from either, I don't know where the original oven came from. It was used either from the Shamrock or Shoaf ovens. They found all these perfectly preserved brick from the coke ovens, and these are behind coke ovens. And they used them to rebuild a new oven, which is now in the center of a park in Dunbar, PA. So they had what's left over, and they gave it to me.
Oh, very nice.
The photo behind it, you might know where that's from. That's from probably my most famous artifact highlight video. That's from the photo albums, which we'll get to in a moment.
Yes, yeah, the photo albums.
Still trying to get out. That's just a postcard of the number 9 mine. That's up around Gym 4, PA. I was there on vacation.
Okay.
Can't forget the Clark bars. That's 1992 too. I have a bunch of Clark stuff, but most of it's put away right now because that's most of them are sport themed.
Yeah.
Got a wrestling program with Bob Backlund on it. My dad.
Very nice.
Yeah, I don't know why I have that, to be honest. The hats repo comes from the number 9 mine. Lehigh Coal was not that Eastern PA, we're Western PA, but I figured fit in. And I got one of my grandfather's boxes, pouches for mining. It was actually originally for ammunition that they reused in the mines.
Was that like a battery pack, or?
Mm-hmm. I believe this. Yeah.
So you actually
I have all of his mining stuff.
You solved a bit of a mystery for me, actually, because one of the sellers that I frequent quite often had a World War I ammo pouch that had like a battery pack in it, and he had no idea what it was for.
That's what they would have repurposed it for after a while. A lot of them went into mines, and now this is much later, of course.
Right.
But I believe it was originally an ammo pouch, and then he just reused the battery pack.
Oh, very nice.
I have, while we're on it, here's the helmet itself.
Oh, wow.
Belt, battery, everything's here.
That's great.
It doesn't have the battery itself, it's the holster for it. So, the helmet is from the 1970s. He used his helmet during his entire mining history. He never really got hurt severely in any mine issues, so he was very fortunate. I believe he did get involved once in one light. He did get stuck underground once, but he wasn't hurt, and they got him out in a day.
Oh, that's good.
The helmet itself has stickers. A lot of them are heavily worn out. Generally, by the time he got on the mines, they weren't giving you badges or anything anymore for your service. Whenever you got something good or to show what your job was, they gave you stickers. And don't worry, we'll get to the stickers in time. I have a lot of stickers from the mines. They are mining collector's items, and I'm very fortunate I'll never have to buy one.
Yeah, that's great.
The lamp, original. The lights, original. And now the cool thing I like about this helmet, it's kind of a showing of the progression of mine safety from 1970 to 2000. Because the helmet's from the 70s, but these weren't put on until the late 80s.
Oh, the hearing protection.
But it's still all part of the same helmet. So it kind of shows you as you progress.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull it up, but you can see the pouch goes underneath.
Yeah.
You got the belt. You got the everything's there. Even his tokens on there.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah, everything's there. I have some other mining stuff, but I keep them in boxes because they're like so badly torn apart.
Yeah.
These are two of the newer items I just got. There's a video out. Just came out today actually.
Oh, the photo negative. I haven't had the chance to watch that one yet.
I'm going to have you go watch it home because it's kind of hard to show you the negatives, but they are original from the 1936 flood.
Wow. Where did you find those at? Flea market or eBay?
Yeah.
Nice.
I trust eBay, but I couldn't pass it up. Be careful with the posters.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. That one, it's just how I avoid This is how I hide up all my crap. And all that you see behind
it works though.
Yeah. All behind all that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff back there. Most of it's not mine. But the envelope's original too.
Oh wow.
So I don't think these ever got developed.
That's the best when you find unpublished photos.
I mean, they had them on eBay, showing them like inverted, just make them look nice. But I don't think they've ever actually been developed themselves. So I did do like a poor scan of them on my phone. I might actually get them developed if I can find a person. And in here, and sort of start getting into sports. There we got Pittsburgh Mauler tickets. There's 3 of them in here.
Oh wow.
You know, my mom's just like, no. My mom's like, well, Joy, and then I got my brochures here, you know, for people to stop by and visit. You know how many brochures of that we have in the fort?
Probably hundreds.
Yeah, I just take them, put them here. So like, there's a leftover. All the rails, the spikes, I don't know where they come from. The only one I can identify is the one over here. And this comes from, that's original spike from the Ligonier Valley Railroad.
Oh, cool.
I found it right after they tore up the tracks, the last tracks in Latrobe. You remember there used to be a little stub track?
Yeah.
They tore it out in 2011 because they were no longer using it for storage. So this is an original nail from the Ligonier Valley Railroad.
That's great.
You can't find nothing out there now since now it's a pathway and everything, so I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
The spike over there, I can't actually put, there is, besides that one comes from what was called the Blair Line. And that ran up around Donegal and Jones's Mill area. It was a lumber operation. That's pre-World War II spikes.
Okay.
Yeah. I have 5 of them. That's the one that's in best condition. They came out of the mud, and you can see they're really falling apart.
Yeah.
The mud needs repos.
Okay. I was about to say that. I didn't know they did paper script. I thought it was all... Okay.
Yeah, railroads for a long time did their own currency, actually. Because every state had different currency at one point.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So, yeah, this was free before we had a set stone. And you may want to look at that, the cross-section there.
Oh, yeah, from
that
the Johnstown Incline Plane.
That's from the original Incline Plane. You can still buy them today. They still sell the souvenirs of them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they took the rails and they chopped them up into those little bits and they've been selling them as souvenirs. So that's original rail from the incline.
Yeah, very
World's
nice.
steepest incline plane. Or world's steepest vehicular, or however they want to say it.
Yeah, in Johnstown. I need to get back out there again. It's been years since I've been on it. That's pretty impressive.
So, first I want to talk about the banners. I got Super Bowl 14. The man in the middle, that is one of my favorite items. That is from my dad's side of the family. It actually comes, I forget, it either comes from Cleveland Browns Stadium or it comes from the Cincinnati Bungles Stadium. Yes, I'm going to say Bungles, I don't care. So, and that was at the height of the Steelers' popularity. That's from like 1980. So that's like, we're talking Terry Bradshaw, we're talking about Franco Harris, Green. And they went there to that game into enemy territory, and they bought that there in Ohio, that pennant.
That's gutsy.
Yeah, so...
That's really gutsy.
Yeah, it's really faded, because I used it a lot as a kid, because I loved showing it off. So that's why the colors are faded. And then the Gettysburg one I bought at a flea market, just because I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And they need, I'm going to find a way to get them, the Gettysburg one really needs to be unfolded. I have a Niagara Falls one from 2000, but I don't know where it is. It was in my bedroom for years. But the map itself, I did this a couple months back. I've always wanted a map to show the mining operations and the railroads of the region. The problem is, it's really kind of hard to get a map like that. So I said, screw it, I'm going to make my own map. So I'm probably going to redo it next year. I'm not fully satisfied with it. But what I wanted to show was all the areas where the coal veins were, so all the coal fields. So that's why there's nothing in between. I wanted that intentionally, just to show you the coal. Because the joke is that pretty much, most of it was coal here.
Right.
There was no area. If anyone really wants to know where we are, we're pretty much right there.
Yeah.
So the idea of the map was to be pretty central. So it shows the 6 coal fields of the region. We got the Westmoreland field, which includes Latrobe and Greensburg. Then you got the Connellsville field, which was pretty much one of the larger fields in the region, going the whole way down for here. Then the region we're in, technically there was no coal mine around the town here. Yeah. But the region we're in is technically the Ligonier field, and then right below it was the Indian Creek field. And then that's where we actually get the Blair Line from. So it was found, the Blair Line spikes were found somewhere up here. And the railroad went the whole way down through Normalville and everything, connected down. And then you have the double tracks going through Ohio Powell.
I love that town name.
Yeah. Normalville. A lot of people, I don't know if you know or not, the railroad, you know that the tracks that are still there today, that was B&O. But the Western Maryland used to use the bridge.
Okay.
So that was Western Maryland. And pretty much the Western Maryland right-of-way is now what is now the Great Allegheny Passage. So from Pittsburgh down, that's all, well, Connersville down, that's all Western Maryland, it used to be Western Maryland trackage. So it's kind of cool in the Castleman River Valley and in the Yauk Valley. Pretty much you had the two biggest railroads of this region, like on opposite sides. There's one really funny point, I always laugh when I see it. If you're in Rockwood, PA, what I'm talking about. When you're in Rockwood, PA,
Yep, down there.
this is the Western Maryland. This here is the B&O. To get to this one coal operation up in Wilson's Creek, they actually built this giant bridge over the river to get to Wilson's Creek. It's like only a mile spur to get there. Just to show you how competitive they were. And the bridge is still there today. It's abandoned, but you can still see it today.
Oh, cool.
If you want to look up there more about the railroading.
Union Pacific, B&O.
Union Pacific, the B&O, got the Western Maryland, and then behind that you can see the Horseshoe Curve pennant.
Yeah.
Also original. And you can see my poorly preserved, I love my push pins, you know, destroy, probably make some collector's screech, but I don't have the money all the time.
I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you
gotta do. And usually if I put a push pin in it, there's already a hole in it. That one already had a hole, so it's like, well,
right, because when people bought it back in the day, you know they were using pins to hold on to the walls
I figured by that point, forget it. There's the tricorn I talked about.
Yeah.
Then on the left, I got precariously hanging there the Irish Brigade flag. That comes from Gettysburg. When I was little, I bought every little mini flag you can buy out of those. Because at every store, they had like a barrel of these little flags.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought every one. Most of them I tore up to look battle-torn.
Yeah.
And I think I actually have an Irish Brigade one that's battle-torn.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's the only one I could find that was like okay to put up on display. Then to the left of it is the White Star pennant. You ain't gonna believe where I found that.
Where did you find that one?
I found it at a Salvation Army store in Uniontown.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I just saw it there, and I'm like, it was $2, and I'm like, I gotta have it. I don't think it was actually meant to be the White Star line. I think somebody just made it for their ship, because I think the star's a little bit off. But come on, it's a white star on a red pennant.
That's
we all
pretty
know
cool.
what it means.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like, and my early love of the Titanic, that's why. And below there, we got one of several terrible towels I own.
Yep.
That one has been bathed in the free rivers.
Oh, so it's sacred now.
Oh, it is sacred. I bring out, that's special cases.
Yeah, that one can slay demons right there. That's
so back over here to the shelf that we were all wanting to discuss. Two of the berets, the black ones come from my dad. I bought the red one at Gettysburg. I don't know really who was from.
Okay.
I got an Air Force cap. I got his whatchamacallit thing here. That's my dad as well, National Guard. These two photos, this was before I knew what printing was. This is like, so this is off the Everett Railroad. It's where I often rail fan. It's the nearest steam railroad.
Yeah.
To here. You have to drive an hour away though, but oh well. And then here's my brief collection of brochures. I own one too many traveling brochures. I love collecting these, so I rotate these around. Actually, I just put in the center one last week, so
yeah.
They're all. Whenever I come down, I always, if I'm usually down in this room about once a month, I always rotate those brochures around.
Nice.
And I got the little mobile oil can. I love this item. I don't know how would you use this. Look at this. Look how tiny it is. I love this.
That little address book, that's great.
It was never used either, and it's
from
1950.
Wow,
1949, 1950.
That's really cool. I see you got the hotel up there, the Grand View.
Yeah, postcards are replica.
Okay.
That's one of my first items in my collection.
And I did see that you have the menu up there. Is that also a replica?
Yeah, that's a replica. It's blown up. No way would I be putting a push pin right for that.
Yeah, because I was about to say stuff from the Grandview's.
Yeah, I don't
hard
have
to get
anything
around here.
Well, I do have some from the Grandview.
Oh, was that actual plank from the?
Yeah.
Where in the heck did you get that?
I went over the hillside and grabbed it.
Wait, there's still stuff from the Grandview on that hillside?
Nothing collectible.
Oh, okay,
like, there's not pots and pans.
Just boards and.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's actually from the Grandview.
But it's from that site. I mean, it's curved.
I think it's from the Grandview because if you look how it's curved.
Yeah, it's curved like a piece of boat planking
so this is at least was I think on the side.
That's awesome.
So I do have some from the Grandview, and even if it's not actually from the hotel itself, it's from the site. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But you can look at it. How is this not?
And it's curved, and you're right. The way it's put together on the top there. Yeah, so that's really cool.
I do have some.
You weren't afraid of falling into the abyss on the.
No. This was before I had common sense. I was 14. I had no sense.
Hey, you gotta do some stupid stuff when you're young. Yeah, but it paid off.
I stole the whiskey bottle. I did a lot of things I should have done. Okay, so remember how we were talking about the sand?
Yes, at my house. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have. I don't have sand from Omaha Beach, but I do have original lake water from Donegal Lake.
Oh, okay.
If you know about Donegal Lake, it's been drained for the past like 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
And they're just starting now to fix the reservoir. So I've always joked since they drained it, this is the only place you can go fishing. Like that. That's original water. I don't know what I was thinking. I never liked fishing, and my dad would try to take me out there again fishing. It's nothing against. I just never really got into it, so I was bored. I was really into the Johnstown flood. And if you remember in the flood museum,
yeah, they have bottles of flood water.
Flood water. So I wanted to replicate that, and I made it Donegal water.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
So I never thought, I would actually appreciate this, but you never know. You just never know what to collect.
And then you got some Kex beverages there?
All four, even this one, these are all Kex bottles. They actually make campers in the facility now.
Oh, that's what I was down there for
A-liner campers.
I was down there a few weeks ago for the good old UFO festival to just check that out, and I didn't realize they had that camper manufacturer there. So.
Yeah, that was the old Kex plant. So back over here, back to what our story was.
You get distracted looking at collections.
What time are we? Just let me know.
10 minutes. We got a little more recording time here.
So, this is the, we got the Maryland flag, we got the Confederate flag. I actually used to have the British Union Jack set up, and it was like the fictitious future.
Oh, where England actually got involved in the Civil War. And, yeah.
Yeah. I loved collecting those boxes. They used to sell them in the gift shop at the old Wax Museum in Gettysburg. I have another one, but it's broken now. But I loved that. They were only like $10.
Yeah.
So this is just for display purposes. Showing the bayonet charge of the 20th Maine. This was a very interesting item I picked up at a Salvation Army. You find cool stuff, Salvation Army sometimes. They released those. Pretty much, they had a bunch of major reenactments during the 125th. And you can now watch them all for free online, Hard Filmworks. You can find them all. But before then, the only way you could watch them was getting the VHS.
Right, and
so I picked that one up. That's the Gettysburg reenactment. I never watched. I have watched it, but just not on the tape. I just picked it up because it was the tape.
Right.
The photos here. There's actually four. I only have two on display. The other two are upstairs. They came from a neighbor of ours who's now deceased. That was taken by her friends in the 1950s on the battlefield. Right there, we actually have a battlefield tour guide in the 50s next to the John Burns monument.
That's the old uniform then that they were wearing?
I believe.
That's pretty cool.
And then the other one here shows, you kind of have to look really into it, but right there in the center is Jenny Wade's grave. Okay. So, yeah, this is my Civil War shelf.
Yeah.
Bullets, 2 originals, one's a repo. Yep. 2 original postcards, my little box of relics. I picked up at the Gettysburg Museum of History.
Yeah. They have some cool stuff.
They do. There. Yeah. That's generally, if I want to buy Civil War stuff, I'm going to buy it from them. And you can buy these also. Like, they're not that uncommon to find. You're going to pay.
Yeah, little shadow boxes full of stuff.
I don't have the room for big Civil War items, so it's fine by me. Then we get down here to the World War II items. This medal's not from World War II. I don't know why I put it in there. It's been there, but I got original. Okay, so not all World War II. So this is actually Vietnam era, Vietnam Cold War era camo. Actually has, if this will pop open, I haven't opened this up in like a decade. Yeah. It still has some of the original ink in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so this is probably more later in Cold War. Again, a lot of this stuff. That's my grandfather's identification card. Got that there. Got another card there. I bought this at Gettysburg, but it was Gettysburg. And then I got the USS Arizona model, the first one I owned. It's in a sad shape. Some of the guns have broken off because I got a lot of this stuff when I was way too young, I think, to appreciate it. My aunt and uncle, it was Christmas. They lived in Hawaii at this time, and they knew I loved history. So they were racing in the visitor center gift shop in Pearl Harbor. This was one of 3 that were left on the shelf for the year, and they got it for me. I'm very proud of it. So I will always tell that story. Thank you to my aunt and uncle for getting that for me. I still appreciate it. And I also got the hat for the Arizona.
Oh, very cool.
And I got Western Maryland hat. I don't know where to put it. If you want to look over here before we run out of time.
Yeah.
That there is our turnpike pennant.
Oh, very cool.
I actually got to see one on display at the Boyertown Auto Works. I was so excited to see it. And then I quickly realized, man, it's mine in poor shape because the original was yellow.
Oh, so yeah, it's faded. Yeah. It's more of this like orange color now.
Oh, it's pure orange now. So.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was very proud to see that.
All right, so you want this on the record.
Yeah. So, when I was young and into history, I was in elementary school. And at the time, I don't think the elementary schools knew what to do with me because they never dealt with a kid that was that into history at such a young age.
Yeah.
So they kind of let me do my own things, and I apologize. I might have taken over the classroom for 1 or 2 times. I apologize to all my teachers that I was a very demanding student. But one of the things a lot of my teachers did, particularly my 5th grade teacher, they would let me set up museums. And generally I would just make fake stuff like artifacts. Yeah. But I would have them paneled out, like telling the story. So it was actually like it was my first time actually, I never knew at the time, but actually doing research.
Right.
And I was only like 7, 8 years old. This one comes from the 5th grade 9/11 museum. So it depends on how you want to view it. And one of my ideas was to replicate the old 93 memorial. You remember where you just had trinkets up. And one of the coolest things was, I never expected me to do this. Pretty much everybody in the 5th grade sent something. So these are all drawings. And we're talking 2010 these were made, so this was even before the the new memorials.
Right.
And everything. So this is pre-World Trade Center Memorial.
Wow.
So, and you can see some of the other ones in here. Now there's cool stuff while I'm digging through here. I got some photos in here. I got a magazine I got at the time. I was subscribed to History Channel at the time. I was
back when they did history?
I was when I did the Kids Club, I think.
Okay.
Kids Club. And then I think they stopped doing it because I never got anything. And then here's what I mean. They weren't actually artifacts. You see what I mean by they were photos.
Yeah, photos, Pentagon.
And I gave an idea. And then I did the memorial wall of the 93 of all the people that died in the flights. I didn't do the people that died in the World Trade Center because I was 10 years old and I didn't have time.
Yeah, that's a long.
And I want to find it's back here somewhere. If I can find, I think this is it. Oh, here it is. The original sign for the museum. I am so proud to still have this.
9/11 Memorial. That's pretty cool.
Because this is just for my own amusement. But the tickets, the prices, and everything. That was so. And I did some for this for 9/11. I did for Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was probably the most famous one because I have it somewhere. I have the entire replica list of all of the USS Arizona Memorial. I have 2 copies of it. I can't put it up there, it's too big.
Yeah.
But I had it on one of the walls in the classroom. They let me hang it up. I did one year for, I think I did one year for Antietam.
Okay.
And I know I did it for Titanic every year. And the Titanic one, the last one I ever did was Titanic in 5th grade, and it went off with a big bang. It was pretty, they gave me the whole upper stair, because when there was a staircase on the outside of like the classrooms,
yeah.
And there was this like platforms on both ends, they let me have that whole area off to the left on the 2nd floor of the staircase, put my stuff. I was very proud of it. I think I actually hid some stuff behind that shelf to see if people would ever find it. I guess they never moved the shelf. I heard him call me. It's like, hey, we found your stuff. Because I kind of just put like, yeah, Spencer was here. Afterwards, I moved on to just doing presentations, and I became pretty famous or infamous, depends on who you were, of my presentations, because they got bigger and bigger. And you probably know where this is leading to, my senior presentation, where I talked about Queen at Live Aid for 40 minutes.
Wow.
And we're going to get into some relics from that.
Please tell me that you have that recorded somewhere.
It's on YouTube. The whole thing's on YouTube.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, just go on my channel. It's nobody, only people from school like it. But hey, anyone want to watch me talk about Queen for 40 minutes, have at it. So we're going to talk more about that later on because I actually have some items you're going to see throughout.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
I'm playing the Pennsylvania Road Show, and that's pretty convenient. They're talking about Dunkel's shop because there's my postcard from the actual Dunkel's Golf in Bedford.
Yeah, actually, I was there a couple months ago. Not at Dunkel's Golf, but I passed by it.
I had my grandfather's car was serviced there once. Got fuel there. That was the same day we got that log from the ship hotel. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was Blue Taurus, man. That car went for so much, and it shouldn't have gone for that. Because Blue Taurus go to the Allegheny Mountain, not a good idea.
No.
Don't do it, folks. Don't try it at home. So, moving on, this is a little more modern. This is a first aid kit from Norfolk Southern Train.
Yep.
I believe it's from the early 2000s. The reason it's cool is because they don't sell these, for reasons. You don't sell these on the market. So I probably shouldn't be owning this, but I got it for my guy, so it's all complete.
Wow. That's really cool.
I'm thinking about buying a Conrail one as well, so then I can.
That'd be cool.
And then I want to get Penn Central because they're out there. But I'm so proud. He did give me 20. I did have to pay for this. It was like $20, but my mom and dad wanted me to get it just because of how complete it was.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna find a more complete
give it 10
example.
years. People will want this. And I'll break the TV. It's been wonderful.
I mean, I dropped that book earlier, so
That's a TV. We take camping too. So if we don't have a TV, no entertainment. In here.
Was that your?
This is my dad's pride and joy.
The trading cards.
Some of these are mine. A lot of these are mine. No, they're on. That one's not mine. Okay. That one's mine. Okay. So, this is an entire collection of trading cards for the 1978 Steelers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Super Bowl season. That's why they're 78, 79. Some of them are a little later, like Chuck. I put the Chuck one on. There's an original, but the original ones we're looking at, yeah. These are all 78. Or 76 or something. They're from the 70s. I think they're from the... It's a mixture from the early 70s, but the bulk of them come from 1978. I'll look on the card right now. I'll confirm it. Oh, no. These are 76 Steelers. That's why it values them.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason, if you're from Pittsburgh, the reason 76 Steelers live on in history is because even though they did not win the Super Bowl that year, they were down 4... It was like they lost the first 4 of the first 5 games. And if they lost the 5th one, they'd be out of contention for the Super Bowl. They won every other game afterwards, the whole way up to the divisional finals, and they lost in the conference that year. This is one of the winningest teams in football history we're looking at. That's why the 76 Steelers are hailed so much. Even though they're not a Super Bowl team, what they did in that season is just, you can't do it today. But there's my mom's favorite, Jack Ham. We know, as you can see when you walk in the room over there, you have to be blessed by the Jack Lambert photo. Jack Lambert resides in all my rooms in his house. Yeah, all 2 of them. We have a Jack Lambert photo. He blesses it. You know how we have crosses in some houses? We have Jack Lambert's.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm not joking.
I know you're not joking.
When we get there upstairs,
I'll have to make sure to get it in the shot.
Yeah, we'll get our passing shots. And then... Get back in the Rod Woodson, who trader, went to the freaking Ravens. The brick comes from Summerfield, PA. It was the foundation of an auto shop, is what I've been told. Summerfield's no longer around because it's now under Lake Youghiogheny.
Yes.
I was very fortunate that we got 2 years back to back. When you get a drought summer and they drain the lake, every year they drain the lake because of the 36 flood, so they drain to avoid that. If it's a drought summer where the US 40 bridge crosses the lake, you'll see the original town there, or what's left of it, the foundations, the roadways, and the original stone bridge from 1818. You know what's cool about the stone bridge is that I forget who it was. Who was it? I think it was Anne. Who would have been president in 1818? I know. Apologies.
Tyler?
One of the presidents was there to see its completion.
In 1818.
So it's pretty cool that you can go down and see an original item from 1818 that for the most part has never been changed. So I was very fortunate to be able to see that. Anyways, the brick comes nearby from that. It came from an auto shop that closed around the time they flooded the town.
Okay.
So, yeah, one of my other items I pillaged. I got the mess kit off of your advice. I don't know much about that, but you know, mess kit. I had to talk a guy down to like 50. He wanted like $30 for it. I talked him down like at least 10.
I mean, even World War I mess kits you can get for like $10 a pop.
It's surplus.
Yeah.
That's why some people think they get all cool when they get like the modern, like the Cold War stuff. I'm like, it's surplus.
Yeah, it really is.
It's that my dad's like, look, if you want me to get it, I'll just talk to my old friends at National Guard.
Yeah.
So I pulled this out just to talk about. I'm gonna make a video on this, but you'll be the first to see it. This photo album. It was made, I believe, 1959. Yeah, 1955. And this was apparently, I think these were people. This couple put money into a Taiwan drying kiln installation, and these are all original photos.
Oh, that's really cool.
It shows them teaching it. It shows dedication. I think it's the dedication. There's classroom photos. Shows them writing, and there's even colored photos in here. And I really like this.
Oh yeah, the little.
They knew what they were doing. The album, I think, was put together in Taiwan and shipped back over to Blairsville, PA. Yeah. And then this is showing you the engine shop. Because it's a kiln operation, so they have little locomotives.
Yeah, having that little bit of paper in there is always nice.
The reason I'm fast forward because I know there's colored images in the back. There's color.
Oh, yeah, there they are.
1959 again, so this is pretty cool to see colored.
Right. Those would have been expensive.
Yeah, so that's why I said I think that couple were people that like funded this kiln.
Yeah.
So very proud. I'm going to make a video on this. I can't find any information on what the kiln came in. Oh, look, they're talking about our town. Charlie Cabin. Charlie Hotels. Those aren't there anymore. They're gone. The documentary we're watching actually was made in 1992. That's the Pennsylvania Roadshow. The reason I'm talking about this, what time we're at before
we're at 6:30 for this film.
Okay, we'll count. Okay, so the reason I was asking...
3:40 right now
because
in real life.
The reason we're talking about this is because you can notice my impressive documentary collection out here. Well, it's not that impressive.
That's a decent amount of
documentaries are kind of hard to collect because they cost more money than the average film. They're not in high demand.
Yeah.
So they only make so many. I'm gonna pull some of them out. Get a Rick Seaback documentary for WQED. It costs money. On average, you're paying anywhere from about $15 to $20 per documentary for them. I love the Rick Seaback documentaries, but I'm not willing to pay that much for them. So I'm very fortunate that my local library has like all of the Rick Seaback documentaries. So about every time I get the urge to go watch them, I just rent them all.
Yep.
Because nobody but me watches them. I forget where this case came from. It used to do good, but it hates over the years just sitting in a stamped room. It's kind of morphed around, so it's kind of hard to slide doors anymore. So we got things that are aimed more and stuff that's gone. These are the two big ones. This one started my love for Isley's. Then these ones, I kind of have them organized. Not really. I've been watching them. These two come from an old short-lived tourist operation in Scottsdale, PA. This was the Laurel Highlands Railroad. They did use steam. They went from Scottsdale to Mount Pleasant, from Scottsdale to Youngwood, and then Youngwood to Greensburg. Yeah. So I got the trip from Scottsdale to Mount Pleasant, and this is their the world's greatest Civil War reenactment. You can watch this on. I actually posted some highlights. I poured this on to show it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can see this one. You go to Laurel Highlands Rail Fan Films.
Pretty cool.
Greatest reenactment ever put together. Let me tell you, folks.
They Shall Not Grow Old. I see you got
did
that
get
one.
it.
I still need to stop and buy it. That might be one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
It's the best documentary done in this decade, and I'm saying that without even shouting.
No, it's absolutely stunning.
My dad was wondering, like, why are you so into this? And then he went up and saw it when it was going, and he just is like, oh my god.
Yeah, colorized, smooth World War I footage with sound added in, just...
It's very simple.
Stuff that wouldn't have been possible 20 years ago.
And like I said, the documentary is very simple, so I guess this is an impromptu review of They Shall Not Grow Old.
Buy it.
Yeah, buy it. It is a very simple documentary. All it is the British point of view of the war, but it's done so well. It's just done so perfectly.
Yeah.
I remember watching the first half an hour, and I'm like, I thought they were supposed to update the video and stuff because it was showing. And then I start realizing every time the video's getting slowly larger and larger, and then when you finally get to the war front, and it just completely transformed. And I was just like, that was one of my the few times watching a movie I was jaw dropped.
Yeah. It hits you hard.
Yeah.
Even when you're expecting it. It's...
Yeah. Because I thought, I'm like, where's the edited video? Where's the original footage? The Middletown Hummelstown Railroad. My dad was stationed at Middletown's airport to guard the Air Force Base for about a year. This was right around time where you had the storm at Baghdad, right after 9/11. Everybody's on heightened alert. So he was sent out there. He had an apartment out there he would stay in, and we visited several times. We were right next to the railroad. This is where I started my love for railroad. It was right here. This train. They bought in, they restored it originally in 1988. Didn't last long, sat in the shop, got restored again in 2003. Same story, things went wrong, and then it got decommissioned permanently in 2009. They're trying to restore it again. So hopefully...
Third time's charm.
Hopefully when they restore it this time, it'll be on permanent use. But I have the inaugural run on DVD. It says about this limited 2-disc, I don't know if this is talking about this DVD. I looked inside, it's 1 disc, and I flipped it back. There's...
Right, yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about. Anybody knows what they're talking about, blooper reel, please let me know. This is part of the Poundine Entertainment's
Pursuit of Honor.
Pursuit of Honor. All this train documentary stuff. Nobody needs to see
War
it.
That Made America, classic.
So, quickly, these two are original footage of the Ligonier Valley Railroad we already mentioned. This one shows the Wilpin coal industry. This one down here shows the original Ligonier Valley Railroad during the last run. This is my French and Indian War stuff, generally. One of my favorite documentaries.
Road to Necessity. Yeah.
I have it on DVD, 18 minutes, and gotta love it.
Yeah, gotta love buying the museum movies on DVD. It's always fun.
Oh, speaking of museum movies, there is the Fort Ligonier movie.
George Washington Remembers.
We're out. We have no more in stock. We finally ran out.
How long? We've been selling those since 2004.
Yeah, this was made for the 250th anniversary, and they only made them in 2004. it took us that long to sell them out, but we finally did.
Yeah, that's 2019, by the way. Yeah. Just for posterity's sake.
2004, 2019, we finally sold out of these. So.
And, I mean, you and me could probably verbatim do that whole thing, because we heard it so many... It was always playing on loop at the museum where we worked. It still is. And, it still is, so...
The Johnstown Flood, this is a very bad rap as a documentary. I don't know why people don't like it. The original documentary done in 1989 won an Academy Award. Everybody knows about it. It's shown at the Johnstown Flood Museum. It's one of the best documentaries ever made.
Yeah.
I like this one because I rate Richard Dreyfuss. He's a good narrator. This got me into history too. This, like I said, this has nothing to do with the French Civil War.
Down from the mountain.
Or the Johnstown Flood. This is the concert for the soundtrack of Redoubt Production.
Okay.
I had this on VHS tape for years, and I finally got DVD in it.
The War That Made America.
We all know.
Classic. Chancellorsville.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about those, and I'm just going to burst through the rest because we've been doing documentaries forever, and I won't bore you guys. Just break it all.
Just grab the ones you want. There you go.
Okay, so these are all documentaries that are done by historical films. These are very good documentaries. They're one of the only film crews that are allowed to shoot documentaries on National Park battlefield. That's how good they are.
Oh, wow.
They do most of the National Park films for the Civil War. So the Chancellorsville documentary, the Fredericksburg, and the Antietam one are the same. Are the expanded versions of what you'll see at the park itself. These two are great because they're done by James Earl Jones. He's a narrator in this.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh.
These are great. Jody Powell does this for Chancellorsville. This one, this was the first one I bought of their collection. I didn't realize what I was getting into. So this isn't actually a documentary on Antietam. This is on the 150th anniversary of Antietam, so how the reenactment was done. And they show occasional clips from the original documentary. And then I have the you might know about the electric map.
Yes, the electric map that I'm sure we're going to see.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's done in digital. I'm going to put it on, actually. But, so, the maps, I have these two maps. They were done by a gentleman from the area who was in a local reenactment unit. He was in Proctor's militia. And when he died, some of the items that his family didn't want, they allowed the reenacting unit to put up to auction pretty much in the whole unit. Yeah. I was fortunate. I was there that day just training and hanging out with everybody. And I was able to get two of these maps. And these are museum reproductions. Oh, so these are museum-worthy reproductions. This one shows Fort Ticonderoga after Arthur St. Clair's withdrawal.
Wow!
The original map was drawn to show to Lafayette on what was going on at Fort Ticonderoga.
That's pretty cool.
So, and it still has the original defenses the French had during the French-Canadian War. Oh, the other one is New Jersey, 1980, and I don't know where I put it. You don't know where I put it. I have two of the posters for the back-to-back Stanley Cup wins in 1991, 1992. Yep. I got all this stuff. This is more like a home display, so I got Empire Strikes Back lunchbox.
Very cool. Peanuts. I love peanuts.
I got these albums filled with records.
45s, good stuff.
Beatles. My mom's a crazy Beatle person. We'll talk about that upstairs. This is the G1. This one was a locomotive that Pennsylvania came up with. Pennsylvania Railroad. They can't use it anymore because the material, the liquid, the chemical used to operate it is very hazardous.
Oh.
I have two of these. They're given out from McDonald's in the area in 1982 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Steelers.
That's pretty cool.
This chapel was made by my grandmother's father in Carpentertown, PA. And he was a coal miner, so I consider this coal miner folk art.
That's pretty cool. Was it part of like a Christmas display?
Yeah,
or
he made it from scratch.
Wow.
Yeah, he made this because you could put the light in the back. It was part of a Christmas display.
Oh, that's very cool.
A diary that you're not going to see today because I'm going to do a video on someday.
Ooh, can you at least give us a year?
I can.
Give us a sneak preview.
It's very faded, but it starts in 1914.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I believe it's local, so I'm hoping it goes up to this 401. I want to read.
That'd be cool if it hits Spanish flu too.
You'll like this. This is a program. This is an original guidebook given out at Fort Necessity. It comes with a postcard as well.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that's not at all what that Fort Necessity looked like.
No. Yeah, this is just after they rebuilt the original fort. They finally, second time's the charm. Yeah. These are photos of the Challenger launching in 1984, 85.
Oh, wow.
All the stickers I talked about.
You got the mining stickers.
That's half of them.
Wow, you have a lot of them then, yeah.
Yeah, there's a shoebox somewhere full. a camera.
Which of the 4 cameras there is the oldest one? That one.
Yeah, this is early. This is 1920s.
1920s.
Both the obviously these newspapers are reposts. This one's for the Johnstown flood, and the other one over here is for Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
It's the Wahoo one. They get this one out because of the center when you go in, because inside it's all modern.
Yeah.
Information. Behind there, that's a ad put up in 1856 for soldiers, probably veterans of the Mexican-American War, to buy property.
And is that a copy as well?
No, that's original.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's original.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I bought that at a flea market too. I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm picking it up.
It's awesome when you find cool stuff.
They have it labeled as Civil War, but
it's 1856, so it's previous.
Quickly, I changed the flags. I got the first Confederate national flag here, Prussian flag in the middle.
Yep.
I have the Kriegsmarine laying around somewhere. I don't want to put it out for obvious reasons.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy.
Pennsylvania flag. I'm hoping to replace the first Confederate, though, eventually with a pre-1808 Union Jack.
That'd be cool.
Because I want to show, like, I just, like, change them around. This will get changed. I rotate them.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Fort Bedford one upstairs, but, my mom's, this was her Girl Scout canteen. I still
Very
have.
cool.
And any final things you have in here you want to discuss?
Before we leave this room, there's one last thing we need to see, because we talked about it in the other video. Yes, the Stahlhelm.
There it is.
Very cool.
Original 1940 Luftwaffe.
Yep.
It's faded.
Very
you can
faded.
still see the Eagle swastika. You can see the Luftwaffe shield on here.
And your grandpa actually wore that as like a motorcycle helmet.
Yes.
Yes. Back when you could do that.
Yeah, this was bought at a flea market in Mount Pleasant around the 1970s.
Yep.
And then he rode this was his biker helmet for years. He did have lining. It wasn't the original line, but he did have a regional line for it, but it's
gone now.
Yeah, this was sitting in it rotted away, and this is what's left of it. It's just the helmet itself. But
still, that's pretty cool.
I never have to buy a Stahlhelm.
Yeah, you have one. I need to find one that I can afford eventually.
The day that happens.
But they are expensive pieces.
Okay, so we're gonna
head
upstairs.
Upstairs we go.
I'm good to go.
Yep, you're good to go. Sorry about that.
Okay, so as he said, this is room number 2. It's actually my bedroom. We're not gonna be in here too long, but I just want to show.
Cat.
This is more just personal items, nothing really. You looked at the record player. It's one of those 6-in-1 things.
Yeah, those are nice.
Behind here is that frame I was talking about. It's $5. How could you pass it up?
No, yeah, that's great.
My dad's Australian map he has hanging back there. I have nowhere to put it. I got that. I bought that for $2. Just all some better bobbleheads. I got my favorite movie of all time, Princess Mononoke.
Is that an original theater poster?
No, it's reprint. I could have gone original, but I didn't know if I was going to frame it or not at the time.
Yeah.
It turned out it was. The frame originally held a repo Picasso painting.
Oh, well, it fits perfectly.
Yeah, so it just so happened and it worked. Got the Beatles up there. Got Super Bowl 43. Got all-time Steelers. See, here he is, Jack Lambert. He's here. He's blessing this room as well.
Good.
My 2 posters that collectors are going to freak about me. I got the Bohemian Rhapsody. That came with the CD. I got the collector's edition CD, which really turned out that you just got a poster, but oh well. I got Nazca Valley to Win. It's a manga. Got the manga here. Then underneath here, you probably know I'm a big fan of Studio Ghibli.
Yes.
So I got the art books.
Very nice.
This here is where I do all my construction paper battlefields. It's done right here.
Very nice, yeah.
There ain't much to it.
That is a great series for anybody watching this who has not seen it.
Actually, right there, this is the project I'm working on. That's my next mega project.
Oh boy.
That's the Antietam map. It's starting to get worked on.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. My cat doesn't appreciate it, but... turn my bookshelves. Not just Mark. I talk about books, but this is probably the most valuable one. Fort Ligonier in its times.
Oh yeah, that's not an easy one to get.
Yeah, pretty much. If you buy it now, you're one last copies. These are just some fiction books I have. Centennial. This is pretty cool. This is actually a re-release of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest when the movie came out in 1975.
Oh, that's cool.
More books. David McCullough's Johnstown Flood. Current book I'm reading on. You know me.
We're right in glory. Yep.
Yeah.
Bloody's Lane.
Made these pillows myself actually from old shirts.
Oh, that's really cool.
This one used to be a shirt I wore during my times going to Gettysburg, so I made it into a pillow.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Worse. The albums, The Doors is a reproduction. Underneath here, Queen.
Yep.
Repo as well. Everything underneath, however, also repos, but they're from the 1980s. They're my mom's Beatles albums.
Okay.
So they're repos, but they were bought at a G.C. Murphy's. So, you know, when I say G.C. Murphy's, you already know. All my Game Informers.
Yeah, I actually just got rid of my collection of Game Informers.
Yeah, this starts in 2014. It goes up since.
Yeah, I had like 3 or 4 years.
Here's the new edition. How do you feel about this?
Oh, the new Modern Warfare?
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic. It looks decent, so...
Cool. I'm going to do a whole video on this someday, so don't worry about it.
Your movie collection?
Yeah, movie collection. I'm going to show you the rest of it. About Ready Player One, like I mentioned. These are all new ones I bought. It's kind of overflowing. Here's the other documentary for the Laurel Highlands Railroad.
Yep.
Just finished watching it. I'm planning to post parts of this on YouTube as well. That's why I was watching it. Movies, history movies. Yep. This speaker came from Dollar General. It's pretty good, but the problem is it's from Dollar General, so it's starting to fuzz already.
Yeah.
I got autographs. Bigfoot movie. It's a local movie. The only reason you'd care about it is because Kurt Wooten, Pittsburgh Dad, signed it.
Yep.
And these are wrestlers I've met that have signed. I'm very fortunate they did that.
Yeah.
And pretty much to finish off everything we're going to talk about, I mentioned about the presentation I did.
I'm back. Okay.
So we were talking about the Queen presentation below. This here is one of the posters. I made 4 posters. This is how crazy I was about this presentation. I wanted to have the whole chalkboard filled with posters of Queen's album covers. I was not buying the money to do it, so I made them myself.
That's really cool.
I did, this one I did in one day here at the house. The Magic album, my parents are getting home. And then the Hot Space one's down below. The Live Aid one is now in my English teacher's ceiling. So if you're in my high school, and if you see a Live Aid poster on the ceiling, you know I was there. The Radio Gaga one, the Works album one, it became the mine poster.
Okay.
That's what it became. Yep. So that's about it. There's one last detail. Anything you want to mention quickly? Before we depart for parts unknown.
I think we're good here. Thank you for showing me the collection.
No
problem. A lot of cool stuff. And yeah, thanks everybody for watching.